Ashwin will talk about Advanced Vision Analyzer. Ashwin is very famous international speaker, very good refractive cataract surgeon. And from India now he will inform us a very nice future, maybe visual fields assessment. Thank you, Ashwin, join us.
All right, thank you so much, Eileen, Michael, Chris. Well, okay, I'm going to be talking a little bit, taking off from glaucoma, from where Ike already presented on IOP as one of the most important diagnostic procedures that's required for glaucoma. I'm going to be talking about perimeter and revolutionizing perimeter in a different way. I must confess first, I have a financial interest in this topic, the Advanced Vision Analyzer. It's a diagnostic device which basically helps us measure the field, visual field of for a patient. How does this machine work, and how does this machine work? Let's just go through with the program. All right, so let's just define the components of this device first. It's got a headset, it's got a clicker, and a tablet. So the head-mounted device basically presents the stimuli to the patient. The patient responses is received by the clicker in the right hand or the left, and the monitoring and you monitor and assess the assessment on the tablet. That's how this whole device really works. What it also has is the headset also has an eye tracker in it, which basically tracks any movement of the eye from the gaze that is required for this test to happen. The most important over here would be this wireless control of the tablet, the cloud data that is backed up. That means all the test report actually gets sucked up in the cloud, and all the software upgrades that need to come in are actually just over the air, and really you don't have to send the device anywhere, or no real software has to come from somewhere else. Some of the big advantages, I think the bag kind of explains why this device is more portable in its own approach. So we'll take you through that. But what's the problem that we are trying to encounter over here is perimeter. We all know perimeter, and I'm not going to define what perimetry is, but I'm going to tell you that it's going to be used in diabetic retinopathy, in cataracts, retinitis pigmentosa, glaucoma, macular degeneration, and you know the whole shebang on that front. Where visual field is required, you need to do a perimetry. What's the challenges that we face today in our today's devices? I think a couple of challenges is it's a bulky device, and when it's a bulky device, it restricts the movement of the device itself to the patient. Rather, the patient has to come to the device. That's one major issue. Second thing is postural difficulties. Before postural difficulties, I would tell you that this bulky device also needs a dark room, and that is a must in these in doing any form of perimetry in today's world. Postural difficulties would be people with kyphoscoliosis, back pain, because you know it takes in our ORs or in our clinics, it really takes about 20 minutes for someone to do the test. Kyphoscoliosis, back pain, pregnant women, people, kids, children, pediatric age groups. These are cases where I've seen personally that I've not been able to complete the test because they just don't want to do it. High cost of this device is another big problem, and the majorly huge number of undiagnosed glaucoma patients because they just couldn't do this test. And we all know that this is pretty much a confirmatory test that is required when you want to confirm a patient for glaucoma. Going to how it's actually portable, it's basically taking that whole big bulky device and converting it into a VR headset. So basically removing the whole traditional way that we've actually used VR, the bulky devices, and the high cost of the capital equipment that is completely changed. The other aspect over here, which I think becomes very important to understand, is the separate dark room requirement that was always there and now suddenly has gone away with this device. One of the biggest advantages, when I say portable, I don't mean just portable to other places like screening camps or anything like that. I'm talking about even in your clinic, you really are making the patient move from the waiting room area and into a dark room. That's also a cumbersome experience because that's one device that one space is required to be dark room. You have to create the room basically towards having that glaucoma test done. Now you can actually just give the headset and It's a get go from wherever the patient is sitting. So portable does not mean just out of the clinic. It means even in your clinic, it's portable. Uh, Next up, I think it's a head-mounted device. It's flexible, so you actually can make the patient sit down on a sofa. Lazy boy. I mean, I've put a lazy boy in my in my clinic, so it really becomes easy for that patient. Old patients and pediatric age groups are really finding a little more comfort with this device. Next up, I wanted to tell you it's rather simple. When I say simple, you can monitor all of the tests just by simply holding that tablet in front of you. You know where the patient is gazed. You know when the patient is not focusing on what you want to focus. So, and it's all happening over a device. All the reports are in through the device, and your infrared tracking of this gaze monitoring is all happening through the tablet itself. Again, reports are also, I'll come to the reports soon, but one of the best parts of this product is actually there's no learning curve. The best part is because of the familiar report output. So the report looks exactly like how you actually view any of your reports today from the Humphrey, which is what I think these guys have taken from to make it as a template. And what they've done is basically build on top of this a normative database that uses the international standard, that complies with the international standard. Uh, in terms of comparisons, I think this is an important aspect here. I think what happened is we compared the visual field measurement on AVA with Humphrey for all the algorithms there are. And the global indices like mean deviation, pattern standard deviation, what we found was statistically equivalent. And that was beautiful to see that a device could actually replicate exactly what we have found on an Humphrey. It was all possible. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, using these 800 subjects, we were able to find that it was possible to get similar visual field outcomes when compared to the Humphrey device. This was a huge game changer when it came to this product and its results. uh, what are the algorithms that we have? Foveal threshold, gaze monitoring, your test patterns 24 to 32, 10-2, and also all the strategies that are including your screening, your full threshold, ELISA, ZEST, and FAST. Exactly like, so again, there's no real learning curve except for the learning curve of how to make a patient go through this experience a little differently from what we've been going through with a chin rested device, which is not there anymore. Connected. What does connected mean? Connected over here is basically we have the tablet that really you can search the patient by name, phone number, email. It's all on the cloud. You don't have to go anywhere. And even you can send the data. If you're sending a technician to some place, you can send the data over the cloud, and the doctor reviews that data, gets back to the technician, and you're able to give a diagnosis, everything just over the air, over the internet. Software upgrades can be made over the air. And this is a huge game changer when it comes to getting new products or new features into the product. Like the 10-2 is just coming up in the next 30 days, and that'll be all over the air for the people who have already have these devices. Nothing else needs to be added to it. And all the clinical data is encrypted, so it's pretty much safe. You really don't have to worry about the patient data over there. uh, all in all, it's now a perimetry is now portable, simple, and accurate. And I'll also add another word: safe. The data is safe with you. Uh, and this was the presentation that I wanted to show for glaucoma diagnostic. Any questions? Happy to take them, as many as there are. Oh,
Yeah.
one. Yeah, go ahead, Eileen.
No, go ahead, Ash, and then I'll ask somebody who's written in a question for you.
Sure. One big piece of advice is this product is now US FDA approved. Yeah, we wanted to mention that.
Ashwin, how does it take? How long does it take one measurement? Is it advantages or shorter, longer?
So from what I could see is initial learning curve, it was about a minute or so longer. But after the it's the technician who takes time to actually convey the message while he's explaining how to go about the process. But once they're through with that, the time just reduces drastically.
Ashwin,
Yes.
the device goes over both eyes, and how are you assured that you just you look with both eyes, and
open eyes.
the
Both
right
eyes
eye
are,
is checked?
both eyes are open. It's a diagnostic presentation. So you really open both eyes. There's a filter in the middle. It segregates both eyes before while you're doing it. So you really don't have to close one eye.
Yeah, that is very comfortable for the
Very
patient.
For the patient, extremely comfortable. And it also has you can put in glasses. You can put the prescription powers in. You can have the IPD adjustments. That's all in the head-mounted device itself.
So it's not glasses you have to put, but it's automatically.
Like a trial frame.
Yeah, super.
Just take it from your trial frame and put it in. Nothing else changes.
Very nice, very nice.
Okay, we've got a question. Sorry, Eileen, we've got a couple questions for Ash. First question is, does it have a beeping sound like automated perimeter to help the patients maintain concentration?
Yes.
Okay. And then second question from Arthur Cummings. What is the cost per device?
I think from what I understand, it is different for different countries, but it's going to be 1/3 of whatever it is right now. From the comparative of the Humphreys, the others, everybody, it's going to be 1/3 for sure. I mean, that's one of the biggest advantages of this whole thing. It's portable, it's sturdy, it's safe, and it's 1/3 the cost. I mean, that's one thing that we wanted to. I think these guys wanted to be very, very clear on from the beginning.
Can I just ask something, Chris? How do you differentiate the nasal visual fields where there's overlap if you're doing them binocularly?
The nasal visual field. Okay, that's a really
because how do you know which eye is responding if you're doing two eyes?
No. The test report is going only for that one eye. So there's a mask. Yeah, it's only for one eye when.
No, but how? Yeah, but it could be the nasal field. It could be responding from the other eye if you got both eyes open.
No, but there's a very clear demarcation in the middle.
Oh, there is. Okay,
inside the device.
And so, if I understand it, the strategy, the algorithm is very similar. It's not actually the algorithms that are different. It's the portability and logistics that are different. So you're pretty much doing 24-2s. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I kind of hoped, I kind of figured that if Elon Musk or Bill Gates or someone ever got glaucoma, there would suddenly be a much simpler test on the market. But I mean, this is great innovation, but it's a logistical no-brainer. But it's if we could design some kind of software that was more like a game that could make it so much more interesting and easier for patients, we'd be going somewhere as well. But I just don't think that's ever going to happen.
No, never say never. You never know. We never know. But it's a good feedback. It's a good feedback, and I think I should give these guys that feedback. For sure. Michael,
Ashwin, along that line that Keith just mentioned, do you think the point of where the measurement is going to change? I mean, it's classical now. The patient has to come to the clinic. You have this big monster in the dark room. Do you think this can be done at for lack of better words, be done at home by the patients on a regular 100%. Basis?
Yeah, I think these guys have already spoken to me about that, and they're already planning on launching a device that people can buy and take home as well. And that's going to be a home healthcare to this, because it's a regular. I mean, once somebody gets glaucoma, it's a lifestyle change for that person, and they're going to need this kind of devices at home itself. Why come to the office? I mean, from right now, people are already using it for home healthcare. So that's already started off.
Yeah, because we looked a lot into this, using medical devices at home.
Right.
And, the patient actually would rent it for a couple of days. You ship it there, there's Amazon has a lot of logistics. They use it for 2-3 days, send it back. You have the data. And in 3 months' time, maybe he gets it the second time or third time. So you completely avoid the visit, lack of better terms, if needed.
Yep, that's the whole game plan there.
Wonderful.